Have you ever wondered why some cars sit untouched in lots for over 500 days, even with a luxury badge or rock-bottom prices? While other models fly off the shelves in weeks, the cars on this list have become a nightmare for dealers. Some are so unpopular that factories have even paused production. So, what makes these vehicles the biggest flops of 2025? Let's dive into the 26 most criticized models and, more importantly, how they could save you thousands if you know how to play your cards right. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. List of the 26 slowest selling cars. Main content. Automakers, BMW R6. This coupe SUV was once hailed as a trendsetter, but now it sits in lots for over 140 days, priced at nearly $90,000. Sounds fancy, right? Well, after just 3 years, you'll lose over $44,000 to depreciation. Plus, its air suspension and electronics keep throwing errors, driving repair costs through the roof. That sloping roofline looks stylish but kills cargo space. Many Americans say it bluntly, not worth the money. 25 Land Rover Discovery. Once an off-road icon, the Discovery now gathers dust for 174 days, with nearly 1,900 unsold units. Priced over $60,000, buyers complain about electrical issues and poor reliability. Meanwhile, the Lexus GX in the same segment is known for its durability, leaving the Discovery as the underdog. 24 Infiniti QX80. This flashy full-size SUV is basically a dressed-up Nissan Armada. At $70,000, it lingers in lots for 176 days, with nearly 5,000 units unsold. Its new twin-turbo V6 gets criticized for being weaker than the old V8, and fuel economy is awful at 16 to 20 mph. Americans aren't keen on paying big bucks for what feels like a Nissan in disguise. 23 Ford Escape. Once a bestseller with 300,000 units sold annually, the Escape is now facing the chopping block. Over 57,000 vehicles are stuck in lots for 189 days. Cheap interiors, weak engines, and jerky transmissions have turned buyers away. Even Ford's own Bronco Sport outsells it. If you're interested, dealers are slashing prices to clear inventory fast. 22 Alfa Romeo Giulia. This stunning Italian sedan drives beautifully, but sells only 212 units a month, sitting in lots for 193 days. Priced from $42,000 to $87,000, it loses a shocking 58% of its value in 3 years. Owners are haunted by constant check engine lights and endless electrical issues. Sadly, its Italian charm is overshadowed by its reputation for breaking down. 21 Cadillac CT4. This compact American luxury sedan sits in lots for 197 days, with over 2,600 units unsold. Priced around $47,000, it loses half its value in 3 years. The infotainment system freezes, the transmission has issues, and the interior can't compete with German rivals. With Americans buying fewer sedans, the CT4 struggles to stand out. VI Infiniti QX55. This is a textbook case of sacrificing practicality for style. Infiniti turned a decent SUV into an impractical coupe SUV, and the result? Nobody wants it. It sits for 219 days, with only 680 units sold monthly, and a 48% value drop in 3 years. At $60,000, buyers would rather go for a Mercedes, leaving the QX55 in the dust. Audi A7. This sleek 4-door coupe is luxurious but looks too similar to every other Audi. Americans complain, the 2025 model looks like it's from 2014. Priced over $81,000, it sits for 225 days and loses 55% of its value in 3 years. Water pump issues and oil consumption add to the high ownership costs. 18. Cadillac Escalade IQ. The electric version of the iconic Escalade costs a whopping $130,000, but doesn't qualify for the $7,500 EV tax credit because it's too expensive. It lingers for 226 days with over 4,000 units unsold. Luxury buyers want proven technology, and GM hasn't built enough trust yet. The result? This electric Escalade is stuck in park. 17. Range Rover Velar. Another stumble for Land Rover. Priced over $72,000, it loses a disastrous 61% of its value in 3 years. Air suspension issues, glitchy electronics, and sky-high repair costs are deal breakers. Its dual-screen interior looks cool, but distracts drivers. With 2,500 units sitting for 227 days, the Velar proves beauty doesn't always mean sales. 16. Porsche Taycan. A shocking entry. Porsche, a beloved brand, has a model sitting in lots for 229 days, with over 2,200 units unsold. Priced at $143,000 on average, it loses $54,000 in 3 years. Battery issues, unreliable charging, and a shorter range than Tesla make it a tough sell. The Porsche badge isn't enough to offset the daily hassles. 15. Toyota 4Runner 2025. A surprising entry on this list. The 4Runner is known for holding its value, but the new generation launched alongside too many other models, flooding the market. Over 6,400 units are sitting in lots for 240 days. Still, this might just be a temporary hiccup, not a loss of trust. If you love a rugged, reliable SUV, this could be a rare chance to score a great deal. 14. Dodge Charger. An American muscle car legend, but it's starting to feel outdated. It sits in lots for 241 days, with over 7,300 units unsold. It loses 45% of its value in 3 years, and the V8 engine guzzles gas like there's no tomorrow. The interior feels dated, and American tastes have shifted to SUVs and EVs over muscle sedans. The Charger is like a star from the past, left behind. Pause for 3 seconds and hit the subscribe button to support us. 13. Mini Hardtop 2-door. This cute little car is way too expensive for its size. Priced at $36,000, it sits in lots for 242 days with nearly 4,000 units unsold. It loses almost 50% of its value in 3 years and is plagued by electrical and cooling system issues. The cramped interior, noisy ride, and stiff suspension make buyers think twice. The result? Sales are in free fall. This flagship luxury sedan barely gets noticed. Critics say the new A8 looks like it's stuck in 2014. Priced near $100,000 and sitting for 270 days, it fails to stand out in the luxury market. While BMW dares to be bold, even if quirky, Audi plays it too safe, making the A8 practically invisible. 11. Chrysler Voyager. A budget minivan, but cheap doesn't always mean popular. The Voyager lingers for 283 days, is priced at $46,700 on average, and loses 52% of its value in 3 years. Transmission issues, sticky sliding doors, and glitchy electronics are common complaints. The interior feels like it's from 2015, missing standard safety features. With so many better minivan options, the Voyager is left in the dust. 10. Jaguar F-Pace. This luxury SUV was supposed to save Jaguar, but turned into a disaster. It sits in lots for 291 days, with only 424 units sold monthly, losing a staggering 66% of its value in 3 years, the worst on this list. Electrical issues, air suspension problems, and faulty AC frustrate owners. At over $72,000, buyers would rather go German. With Jaguar's shaky future, confidence in the brand is fading. 9. BMW 5 Series. Once BMW's most balanced car, it's now in crisis. It sits in lots for 305 days, with over 3,600 units unsold. The biggest issue? A massive recall tied to braking and steering, two critical safety features. When buyers hear BMW brake problems, they run the other way. Plus, traditional sedans are losing ground to SUVs and EVs, making the 5 Series a fallen king. 8. Alfa Romeo Tonale. Beauty isn't always enough to sell cars. The Tonale sits in lots for 312 days, with nearly 3,000 units unsold. Priced at $43,000, it struggles against heavyweights like the BMW X3 and Mercedes GLC. Buyers worry about reliability, limited service networks, and hard-to-find parts. Despite an intriguing hybrid powertrain, the fear of breakdowns overshadows the excitement. City Jaguar Kifi. This luxury sedan once put Jaguar on the map, but now it's a zombie car. It lingers for 315 days with only a few hundred units left in stock. Jaguar announced it's ditching gas-powered sedans for EVs, leaving the XF with no future. At nearly $59,000, who wants a soon-to-be discontinued car with a reputation for constant repairs? It's been called a rolling museum, and nobody's buying a ticket. Say, Audi Q6 e-tron 4. Audi's brand new EV flopped right out of the gate. It sits in lots for 330 days, with over 3,700 units unsold. Priced near $65,000, its range isn't impressive, and buyers are skeptical about charging infrastructure. Luxury EVs need to either beat Tesla or stand out, but the Q6 feels half-baked, leaving buyers uninterested. 5. Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Jeep tried to break into the ultra-luxury SUV market to rival the Cadillac Escalade, but it's a flop. It sits in lots for 428 days, with just over 200 units sold in 45 days. Priced at $110,000, Jeep's off-road brand doesn't scream luxury. Buyers spending 6 figures want a Cadillac, Lexus, or Mercedes badge, not Jeep. 4. Dodge Hornet. One of Stellantis' biggest embarrassments. The Hornet is basically an Alfa Romeo Tonale in disguise, and American buyers saw through it. It sits in lots for 428 days, with nearly 15,000 units unsold. Some 2023 models are still sitting in 2025. Dealers are slashing prices below $25,000, as low as mainstream sedans. With endless issues and constant recalls, the Hornet is Dodge's inventory nightmare. 3. BMW XM. Arguably, BMW's most controversial car ever. Starting at $159,000 and topping out at $170,000, the XM sits in lots for a staggering 544 days, nearly 18 months. Many call it a pig in lipstick or the ugliest BMW in history. Its aggressive design gets mocked, and the interior and driving experience don't justify the price. Instead of becoming an icon, the XM has turned into a punchline in the luxury car world. February 7. The ultimate failure in the luxury EV market. The i7 lingers in lots for 578 days, almost 20 months. Priced at $128,000, it only offers a 318-mile range, lagging behind Tesla and the Mercedes EQS. Its massive, controversial grille and issues with software and battery reliability turn buyers away. Dealers are slashing prices by up to $29,000 just to move them. But who wants to drop 6 figures on a half-baked electric sedan? Fiat 500. The biggest loser of all. Sitting in lots for 580 days, over 100 units remain unsold. Priced at $34,000, it offers a short range, cheap interior, and poor reliability. In 2024, it sold fewer than 1,000 units, so bad that Fiat temporarily shut down its Mirafiori factory. In America, where SUVs and pickups reign, this tiny hatchback is like a minnow swimming among sharks. Looking at all 26 cars on this list, a clear pattern emerges. Today's buyers are smarter than ever. They don't just buy based on emotion or a shiny logo on the hood. They demand real value. So, Why do these cars sit in lots for over a year? First, rapid depreciation is the #1 nightmare. Many of these models lose 50 to 60% of their value in just 3 years. For new car buyers, that's like throwing tens of thousands of dollars out the window. Why take the hit when brands like Lexus or Toyota hold their value so much better? Second, poor reliability. From glitchy electronics and transmissions to faulty air suspensions and EV batteries, owning these cars feels like a gamble. American consumers don't want to be guinea pigs for unproven tech, and they'll walk away from brands with a bad rap for quality. Third, flawed design and positioning. The BMW XM and i7 are prime examples. Overpriced, polarizing looks, and lacking in practical value. Some call them supercar prices for experimental toys. Meanwhile, cars like the Dodge Hornet or Infiniti QX55 are too bland and impractical for their price tags. Finally, bad product strategies. Jeep tried to jump into the ultra-luxury SUV game, Jaguar ditched sedans for EVs too soon, and Fiat pushed a tiny hatchback in a country obsessed with SUVs. These missteps show a disconnect between what brands want and what customers need, and that gap is why these cars sit unsold. While these flops gather dust, other models sell out in just weeks. Take the Lexus NX Hybrid, which stays in lots for only about 28 days, barely hitting the lot before it's gone. The Cadillac Escalade, Lexus RX Hybrid, Toyota RAV4, and GMC Yukon are also hot sellers, with inventory times as low as 28 to 34 days. What's their secret? First, strong brands with proven reliability. Lexus, Toyota, and GMC have earned trust over years. Americans know these cars will run forever without random check engine lights. Second, practical and trendy designs. The RAV4 and Yukon cater to the masses with spacious interiors and family-friendly features. The NX Hybrid and RX Hybrid nail the luxury but efficient trend, offering comfort, fuel savings, and great resale value. Third, a balance of price and value. These top sellers aren't always cheaper, but buyers feel they're getting their money's worth. In contrast, the flops are stuck with high prices and low value. In short, today's buyers prioritize quality, reliability, and practicality over flashy appearances. That's why the Lexus NX Hybrid is a hot commodity, while the Fiat 500e is a market embarrassment. This list of 26 unsold cars shows that a luxury badge doesn't guarantee sales, and a low price doesn't always attract buyers. Rapid depreciation, constant breakdowns, impractical designs, or misguided strategies will turn customers away. On the flip side, models like the Lexus NX Hybrid and Toyota RAV4 succeed with strong resale value, reliability, and trend-right designs. The lesson for buyers: snagging a deal on an unsold car can save money, but know why it's sitting there to avoid turning a bargain into a nightmare. If you like this video, hit the like button. If not, hit subscribe anyway.